Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bobby with Flippin' Nuts. It's been a few weeks. I'm sorry for that. We've had some crazy things going on. Computer crash. I lost all my video footage of the boat, edited, unedited, of a couple other things I've been working on. So I'm working on trying to get that taken care of. I had actually used my phone for some things, and then I went and crushed my phone under my lift when I was trying to find a computer. So it's been crazy. But anyway, this is just a video to get something up. It's been a few weeks. I wanted to get something out there. You guys have been incredibly patient with me. Not the sexiest project, but it's a cool one. And it's just a quick turnaround video project I'm working on, really just to bring some money in. And so anyway, thank you for checking us back out, and hopefully this video can help. Hopefully this video will be useful for you. It's a 2004 Pontiac Grand Am, and it's funny because there's a couple different issues going on with the car, and I think that's the reason I was able to get the car so cheap. So anyway, let's dive into that and see if we can get it going. This is the car I'm working on. It's a 2004 Pontiac Grand Am. If you're wondering why this car is already sort of taken apart, I'll just go ahead and fill you in. Last week my computer crashed, so I lost all of my video footage, unedited and edited all my videos and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I filmed the first part of working on this car with my iPhone, and I promptly crushed my phone under the lift. So this car's I've had about a week and a half, and it was supposed to be just a quick turnaround, get some money coming in, and it's turned into be a little bit more. Once I got that front bumper off, I realized that the only part of the bumper that was still intact, that offered any kind of support, was that styrofoam right there. And as you guys probably already know, that's not going to support anything. So I got that apart, and got another bumper from the U-Pull-It yard, and so I'm going to be painting that and putting that on. But the main reason you guys are here is because of the crank no start. So what I did to diagnose the problem on this car real quick, because I wanted to be sure, first of all, that the motor ran before I did any work on it. So I popped this intake hose off right here, put a little bit of starting fluid in, and made sure that it cranked and ran, and it did. It ran really well, actually. So I felt okay to go ahead and go from there. Now, because the previous owner assured me they had put a new pump in, I went ahead under the assumption that the pump was good and went to work on doing the relearn procedure, which we'll talk about in the next clip. But that's where we are on the car. So I'm just doing a little bit of fill in on the car, to kind of let you know where we're at and why we're kind of starting. The next clip, or the clip that starts with the relearn, is after I had done all of the diagnostic on the car. I really, I don't want to go through that again, just because it wouldn't be, as I'm doing it, which I feel like that's more, I don't like doing videos where I've already done the work and then I come back and just say, hey, I did this and everything worked out great, because that's just not real life. So anyway, that's where we're at. So at this point, since we've already done the relearn procedure, I'm going to jump right into changing the resistor. Again, I'm working under the assumption that the fuel pump is good. And so the next thing is I have a VATS issue, security issue, that is either going to be in the key, the ignition, or the body control module. So the only way really around that, as far as I can tell, because I don't really want to buy an ignition switch for this car, is to add a resistor in at the body control module. So that's what we're going to do next, and I'm going to walk you through doing that. We are going to do the relearn procedure later, because we'll have to once we put the resistor in. So if you want to skip forward to that, that's obviously no problem. But so anyway, this is what we're this is where we're at right now, and so we're gonna focus on that. All right, so with this guy, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this tape off here, because honestly, I want it to save as much of this as I can. I'm probably gonna use wire up to about right here, just because I don't, I want to have plenty of room. If anybody ever wants to put it back the way it was, they can do that. As you can see, guys, I got these two wires snipped. I'm not sure if you can see in there or not, but I got the black one and the yellow one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the insulation off the wire on both of these, okay, so that I can take you to the next step. So I'm going to do that next. As you can see, I've got the insulation off of both of the wires, the black and the yellow. Now, if you don't mind soldering and you want to go about doing that, that's no problem. One of the videos that I did put in this a link down there, it shows you how to go about doing that. I felt like that was kind of too much of a mess, and when this is done, I want to tape it up and make it look nice. I don't like things sticking out and being, even though this will be covered up and nobody will ever see it, it just bugs me. So I like doing it the way I'm going to do it. And, there you go. This wire's up here being cut. Like I said, I'm going to tape all that off. So it's not going to be, there's not going to be a risk of it grounding against anything or anything like that. This is the resistor I'm going to be using. If you'll notice here, it's a 2.2 k ohm, 2200 ohm, 2% resistor, 1/4 watt. You can see how long they are. So I'm gonna have to show you how I make that work. You actually have extra, and you can cut it down for your needs either way. And like I said, you can put it in line with the yellow wire and then connect the black wire to the other end. That's fine. But I'm just going to do it the way I'm going to do it, and hopefully that works. So that's what I'm going to use. And then I have this Stern 150-004. See if I get, that's the part I'm using, and that's a plastic terminal strip. So I only need this one and this one. So I'm going to have an extra. So I'm just going to cut this off. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the resistor. Okay. I'm going to put one side. Well, I'm just going to show you. But basically, I'm going to put the resistor between the two. And this is the part the young man left out in the other video. But put the resistor, because it's obvious. Why would you? But I'm kind of one of the dummies that wants to see that. So. But put the resistor between the two, and then the yellow wire will go in one side, and then the black wire will go in the other, and then you'll have your connection. Again, I'm not worried about it. The key, as long as the BCM, the body control module, is getting that the proper resistance is being met, then I'm happy, because that should allow the car to start. You can see how I've got the resistor in there. You can see that. But because this is a 1/4 watt resistor, it's really thin. So it works out that these are so long because I was able to fold it up on itself a little bit just to give it some more bite with these two screws here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the yellow in this side and then the black in the other side. Again, this is on the body control module side, okay? On the module side. I'm going to put those two in and tighten them down, and we should have our resistor. So as you can see, I have my resistor on here. A little dark, but hopefully you can see that. So I got the black in the one side and the yellow in the other. So all I'm going to do is just plug it right back up in here into the BCM and see if this thing will start. Actually, I got to do the relearn procedure again, and I'll walk you through that, but plug this in and then we'll go do the relearn. For the relearn procedure on this, all you do is put the key in the ignition, turn it to the on position, and you'll see that red light blinking. And what that's telling you is it's relearning that resistor. So what we'll do is we'll wait 10 to 15 minutes, depending on who you listen to. Seems like 10 minutes is fine, but we can go 15. But either way, once it's learned that resistor, that light will go solid, and then it'll go off. Once it goes off, you turn the key to the off position and pull it out. You don't have to pull it out, but turn it to the off position for 5 to 10 seconds. And then you should be able just to start the car. So we're going to find out. I'm setting the timer right now. So we'll see you back in 10 minutes. I'm back with you. Should be about, I'm almost 10 minutes. Oh, there you go. You see how it went solid there? Now, this car, the last time I tried to do the relearn, the light did not go out, but you saw it just went out. So now you turn the key off, count to 5. 1, 1002, 3, 1004, 1005. And in theory, it should start. Let's give it a whirl. Heck yeah. Oh. Here's the last clip on getting you guys up to date with where we're at in the video. But as you saw in that last clip, I thought it cranked. It cranked for a minute. Actually, not even, just a few seconds, and it died again. So even though we did the relearn, even though we added the resistor, no joy. So now you're going to see in the video where I started on the next part of the video, which was figuring out why that is. And so as of this clip right here, we're back up to date with the lost footage. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So you can do this a couple different ways. One of the ways, you don't actually have to have a little meter here. You can actually just use a test light. It's helpful if you have the meter, because it can tell you, what kind of voltage you're putting out and important things like that. But for what we're doing, test light will do. So for what we're doing, a test light's going to be fine. If you can see, that's lit up there. Okay, so that's showing that we have voltage. Obviously, this meter will tell you how much the voltage is. In this car, number 18 in the Grand Am, number 18 is your fuel relay. Okay, now the quickest way to check that the relay is okay is take another one of the relays, the same exact relays, and just move it over here. If you like this particular relay, number 21 is your horn, right? So toot your horn before you get started, and you'll know that relay is good, and then swap it out. And if you still have a no start issue, keep going. So since I already know that, I'm gonna go ahead and use my little test light here and see that if I'm getting any voltage to the relay. All right, so what I've done here is I've taken a jumper wire and I've put it in the number 87, okay, which is going to be, in this case, the top right, and I just want to see that I got current. The key is on. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so I have current. Now I want to see what kind of voltage I'm getting. I have my ground. Okay, and as you can see, I've got 12 volts, actually 12 and a half volts going to where the relay is. So I know that I'm getting voltage to my fuel pump relay, and I know the relay is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump the relay. I'm going to put the 87 to the 37. Now my tank is out. I took it out last night because I want to check the fuel pump. But I also want to eliminate that it's not an issue from the car first, because the fuel pump that's in it is new. So I don't want to buy another fuel pump and waste all that time. It's out, so it's easy enough to just check the plug. Now, you don't have to have the tank out to check the plug. Just unplug it. It's not, the tank is not in the way of being able to get to the plug, and you can check that, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm gonna jump this lead into the 37. So that should be sending voltage to the plug for the fuel pump. So let's go check that out right quick. Alright, I doubt if you saw that, but it was 12 volts. So we've checked that we do have 12 volts coming into our relay, the pump plug, which from what I understand is right. And the only other thing I can do to check the fuel pump, is to hook it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the pump up with it out of the car and see if it's pumping fuel, because it should be, according to what I'm seeing. So to try this, I'm going to try it both with the jumper and with the relay, so I can rule out that, you know, the relay for sure is 100% or not 100% the problem. So as you can see, the relay is back in, the car is on, and I got no fuel coming out. So there's no fuel coming out. And as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but that is a brand new pump. After spending most of the day looking for a used fuel pump, I was able to find a new pump, even though it's an aftermarket one, at O'Reilly's. But you know, before I did that, I just felt like this is a new pump, and I just kind of, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to check into something else. So on the harness from the car, the gray wire, which is right here, that should be 12 volts. For the pump to work, that's got to have 12 volts. And then this is your ground. And so what I did, I came out here, I plugged this up, I straight wired, okay, a hot and a ground. Actually, I plugged it up here. This is the aftermarket plug that came with this pump. So I plugged it up. I know that this gray wire is my hot, and this black wire is my ground. So with that plugged in, I ran a straight wire to my gray and my black. The gray and the black, and nothing. So then I took the plug off and I ran power to where those would correspond in the plug there. And sure enough, the thing started pumping. So the only thing that can mean is that whenever they put this harness together, they didn't splice it right, or something's not connecting. So what I'm going to do, and I can tell you, I can see this right here, that's the ground wire. I don't know, I mean, it looks like it's connecting here. I'm going to cut this back, and I'm going to cut it back here, and I'm going to try that test again and see what happens. All right, this is pretty crude, but I'm just trying to make sure I get this figured out. All right, I've got a new crimp on the black wire, and my insulation's there in case this works. I've got the harness plugged into the tank, and I have the harness for the car right here. So what I'm going to do is just do a straight wire. Just do a straight wire to the gray and a straight wire to the black, and see if I got pumpage. Okay. My gray is in, and I am not pumping. So I still have an issue with the harness. Right, so we got it all cleaned up. What ended up happening yesterday was I ended up testing. This was the harness that was on here, and every different way I tested it, I could not get power through the harness into the pump. just wouldn't. I tried every combination you can imagine. So fortunately yesterday, even though I didn't find a pump, I did pick up a stock harness because I thought I might be going back to a stock pump. And that saved my bacon, because I used that harness, and finally I was able to get this thing to start pumping with the plug. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and plug the harness into the car and see what happens. Okay, so in theory, I've got my jumper in. I've got direct power through the where the relay would normally be, and when I turn the key on, that pump should be working. So let's give it a shot. Here we go. She's running. Awesome. Well, a little bit of a mess, but it's worth it to know that thing's pumping like it's supposed to finally. That's the first time that pump's done that. So I'm pretty happy. All right, so let's get the tank back in there, and fingers crossed, car will start. As you can see, I got the relay back in and the tank is back in. I don't know why anybody would ever take the seat out. I saw a few posts where people take the seat out on these things and then cut a hole in the floor, which, you know, with the lines that are on this tank, it makes it actually harder. It's literally only 4 bolts in the heat shield, and it basically comes right out. So anyway, we're in the car. I'm going to cycle the key a couple times. It's really bright in here, so it might be kind of hard to see. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that, no lights, just a brake light and the seat belt. All right, well, there you go, guys. She's a runner. That's awesome. Pretty excited about that. So kind of a pain in the butt to do all that, but you know what, we got it figured out. All right, guys, well, there it is. This is the after, I guess, of the car. Turned out pretty good. A little bit of shading issues with the bumper, but it's close enough for what this car is going to be used for. I don't know if you can hear it, but it is running. So we got that all handled. Actually runs really well. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Not my normal kind of video, but you know, I wanted to get something out after the week we've had, and you know, or actually the last couple weeks. So nice to get something in the books. So with that, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. Again, I'm sorry it took so long to get this one going. Like I said, it's been a crazy couple weeks, but hopefully I'll be able to get this boat going. I'm hoping I'll be able to find some of the video from it, and if I can, that'll be really great. But anyway, if you like the video, then you can hit the to maybe subscribe and see what else I am planning to do some more videos, and maybe the thumbs up, whatever. Either way, it's all good. I'm just, like I said, I'm glad you guys came to check out the video, and with that, we'll see you later. Bye.